Hey, welcome to another episode of Plant and Plate. It is August, and we're getting closer to the end of August, which means college football, which means tradition and rivalries. It also means people getting together to watch the game and grilling. So today we're going to be putting stuff on the grill and getting ready for tailgating or whatever you need to do to feed the people when they come over. Today we're going to be making meatballs in a barbecue sauce that you can do on the grill. Now if you don't have a grill, you can do this in the oven, you can do this in a crock pot, but hey, we're grilling today. Let's make some meatballs. Time to make the meatballs. Now I'm going to make my meatballs from scratch. You don't have to make your meatballs from scratch. You can go buy frozen meatballs. I'm making mine from scratch. If you do buy frozen meatballs, don't get the big ones. Get the little ones. We're making cocktail type meatballs for a snack. And if you're going to go tailgating, you can actually make the meatballs ahead of time. Put them in the freezer, freeze them, and take them with you to the game. Works the same. It's all good. All right, let's get making meatballs. So I've got 4 pounds of ground beef, just kind of shredded up in my bowl. We're going to put 2 cups of Italian breadcrumbs in the bowl. There's 1, there's 2. We're going to put 4 eggs. Well, I'm fumble fingers today. After the eggs, we're going to put 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. And I will put all of the ingredients in the comments. We're going to hit it with some dried basil. We're going to do a teaspoon of that. We're going to do a teaspoon of garlic powder. Boom. Going to throw a teaspoon of salt in here. That's roughly a teaspoon, trust me. Going to put half a teaspoon of pepper, and I like fresh black pepper, so we're going to do a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, a half cup of milk, just to kind of help everything stick together. And then I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of Holy Cow barbecue meat rub in mine. Because, I mean, we are grilling, right? After you get all your ingredients in, I'm putting on some nitrile gloves. Look, if you ain't ever got turned on to this, you can pick them up pretty cheap off Amazon. Just make sure you get the food safe version, but it makes it really nice when you got to get your hands down in here and start mixing something up. You can just take your gloves off and chunk them and not have mess all over your hands. So after you get everything in, all we're going to do is just start working it into the ground beef, mixing it all up, and then after we get it all mixed in, we can make our meatballs. I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and we'll be right back after I get this done. Okay, got the ground beef all worked in. You can see you just want a good mixture of all the seasoning and the breadcrumbs and everything throughout your meat. And then we're going to start making meatballs. I have just a sheet pan here with some parchment paper on it. That way they don't stick to the bottom of the pan when they're in the grill. And this is just an ice cream scooper. Scoop you up some. Get it out of the scooper. Roll them little bad boys into a little ball. And place them. The scooper's nice because it keeps them all consistent, which makes them cook consistently. Also, again, remember, we're just making cocktail kind of meatballs. We're not making big old meatballs for your pasta. Now, if you wanted to do that, you can do this ahead of time. You can make your meatballs out. You can put them in a bag. You can freeze them. And then when you get ready to make your pasta, you can pull it out of the freezer, pop them out, defrost them, pop them out of the bag, put them in the oven for 400 degrees, cook them in there for about 20 minutes, and now you got meatballs for your pasta. But we're not doing that today. So I like the scooper just because it helps keep the size consistent, which helps make the cooking time consistent across all of them. So I've got a whole lot of meatballs to pat out and roll into balls. Again, you're only looking for this size meatball. I'm going to work on that and show you what we got before we go to the grill. Okay, so I got done making all of the meatballs. By the way, this recipe makes 48 meatballs. If you don't need 48 meatballs, cut it in half. I usually, when I'm grilling, I cook for a small army, so 48 meatballs. Now I've got the big green egg going. I've got it set at 350. I do cook them in the big green egg a little lower than what I would in the oven, just because I want some of that smoke and everything to get in there, so I'm going to cook them a little slower. So let's go out to the big green egg. We'll throw these things on and get them started cooking. We're out here at the big green egg. I've had it sitting at 350. I'm going to put my meatballs on. By the way, always make sure you burp your egg. Alright, we're going to put these things down here on the rack. Close her up. Let her cook. And we're going to check it in about 20 minutes. So now that we got them on, this is the best time of grilling. You get to sit back, chat with your friends, drink you a adult beverage or drink of your choice. Mine is Cahaba Blonde for today, so I'm going to drink my blonde. I'm going to wait on this, and we'll get together in a second. Okay, we're about halfway through our cook on our meatballs. We're just going to roll them over so that they get brown all the way around. Just give you an idea with the old meat thermometer where we're at. We want to cook these things close to well done, and we're at about 160 degrees on these. Oh, that one's good. So we're going to let them cook a little bit longer, try to get them all up to about 170 degrees, and then we'll be ready to continue with our process. See you in a little bit. Okay, back at the grill. We've let our meatballs cook for a total of 30 minutes, and we should be good to go now. So let's take a peek at them and see what we got. Oh yeah, baby, look at there. We're going to check some with our meat thermometer. By the way, if you enjoy grilling or cooking, you need a quick read thermometer. You don't want to make anybody sick. Everything is beeping at me, telling me, hey, these bad boys are good to go. So we're going to take these off the grill, and I'm going to go back inside and finish this up to put it all together. We will come back to the grill, but hey, it's August in Alabama. It's freaking hot out here, y'all. So we'll see you inside in just a minute. I want to go enjoy the AC while we do the rest of this. All right, back inside. Thank God for air conditioning. Woo, it's tough out there. So I have a 7-quart cast iron pot that's enamel coated. Any pot you can throw on the grill will work. Just give me an idea of what I'm using so you can figure out how much space you need. We're going to take and put the meatballs down in the bottom of this, and then we'll start adding the rest of our ingredients in it to turn it into a sauce. Had one break apart. Dadgummit. It'll be alright. Nobody will know the difference when it goes in their tummy. So we're going to put all this in here. This recipe is my youngest son, Zach. He loves this stuff. He was super excited to find out I was going to do a video on it. It's one of the things that he will ask for on a regular basis. So he enjoys it. Other people seem to enjoy it pretty well. Okay, all 48 meatballs are in the pot. We're going to start off with grape jelly. I have 18 ounces of grape jelly and we're going to put the whole thing in there. Well, I say we are if I can get it out of the jar. Let's get a spoon and see if we can't make that happen, Captain. Oh, now we're cooking. Took a hot minute, but there's all the grape jelly. We're also going to put 2 jars of chili sauce into our pot. Now again, you can always cut this in half if you're not making as much as, well, I'm making. But that's just how I roll. I'm going to fire up the grill. Oh, we fixing to make some food. Jar number 1. Jar number 2. We're going to put 18 ounces of barbecue sauce. Now, when you go pick your barbecue sauce, you can use any kind you want. But my recommendation is to not get one of these sweet type barbecue sauce or a honey barbecue sauce, because we got all this grape jelly in there, and if you ain't really careful, it's going to become really sweet. I personally don't like mine that sweet, so I use just an original plain Jane type barbecue sauce and throw it in here. And then finally we're going to hit it with a dash of cayenne pepper. That ought to be about fine. Alright, now that we got all that together, I'm going to mix it up. We're going to go back out, put it on the grill, cook it at 350, just kind of let it simmer for about an hour. Okay, so back out at the grill. I've got all the sauce mixed up in here. That's kind of what it looks like. It'll all work together as it simmers. I'm going to put a lid on it. Open up my grill. Sit her up in there. And we're going to let her sit at 350 for about an hour. Come out maybe in 30 minutes, give it a good little stir, and just let it go. I'll see you when this thing gets done. Alright, we've had the meatballs on the grill for about an hour. It's time to check them, see how they're looking. Burnt the egg. Let's see what we got going on in here. Oh, how about that goodness right there? Look at how the jelly's broken down. Got all of this good sauce in here. Got it all covered around. I'm going to call these bad boys ready. So we're going to take them in, plate them up. Tell me what you think. And yes, sir. So that's what the final product looks like for the meatballs. I told y'all that my youngest loves these things. Before I could even take the picture, he was in here with a bowl and a spoon, and my wife was right behind him. So they've already got theirs before I could even get a picture to show y'all. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button for me so I know what kind of content y'all want to keep seeing. If you decide to make this, leave me a comment. Let me know how it turned out. And if you want to see more of my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And just to go ahead and get this out there for college football, hey, roll tide. Thank y'all.